Hello, welcome to our video on the patient acquisition funnel. This is something we love to do for our clients because it truly changes everything about marketing. When you get this, everything changes, and the whole idea of how to market a practice really takes on a whole new meaning. So let's talk about this patient acquisition funnel. This is a 5-phase funnel. First of all, we have paid ads. Second of all, we have landing page. Then we have a lead magnet or an offer. Then we have a call to action and a nurture campaign. And if you don't know what those terms mean, don't worry, because we'll explain as we go along. But the reason we call it a funnel is because a very large number of people go in at one end, and the job of the funnel is to slowly whittle that number down at every phase of the funnel so that a relatively small number come out at the other end, but that relatively small number represents your ideal patient, which is the key. Trying to filter through the people, make sure that the ones who end up at the other end on the right hand side truly do represent the kinds of patients that you're looking for. So let's throw some flesh and bones on this thing. It starts off, of course, with our two main services in online marketing. One is the video package, and then we have this MD News social package, which is a done-for-you social media marketing service. First of all, we run a highly targeted ad on Facebook, and what that means is we'll sit down with you and we'll ask you all kinds of questions about what your ideal patient looks like, what gender, what age, what kind of circumstances have led them to wanting or needing your services. Maybe they're an athlete who's looking for physical therapy services because they've injured themselves playing sport. Maybe it's someone who needs dermatology services, or maybe someone who's getting up in age and wants a tummy tuck, or any number of plastic surgery options. Depends on your practice, depends on your ideal patient. So we'll do a little bit of questioning of you, but ultimately the aim is to get as good an idea of what your ideal patient looks like so that we can target them with a Facebook ad. They then click on that ad, and the ad is, by the way, a video ad. The ad is then taking the visitors to a landing page. We use ClickFunnels to build our landing pages, which is why I've put that logo there, but there's lead pages. There's a number of different ways that you can build a landing page. But for those who don't know what a landing page is, it's a web page that we ask the client or the visitor to do just one thing and one thing only. There are a number of healthcare providers in the space who are currently sending traffic. I've seen their campaigns because they show up on my newsfeed, and they're sending campaigns or sending visitors to their website, or they're sending them to a blog post. This is never a good idea because the visitor can then click around, go into all kinds of different corners of your website, which may seem a good thing, but ultimately they leave without ever giving you the one thing you're looking for, which is a way to reach back out to them after the fact. So what we're trying to do is get them to download the offer or get some kind of lead magnet from you in exchange for them giving you an email address. So in this case, we've gone with an e-print. This is an article that appeared in MD News. So they've seen a video about a particular procedure or a particular condition. Then there's a lot more lengthy article presented as a PDF. In that article, there may be additional information, maybe even be some more videos that they can click on, and ultimately a good opportunity to get lots of additional information about this particular service or condition or procedure. Here's another thing. If they do land on that landing page and decide not to download that e-print, we can retarget them because there's something else on that landing page that the visitor never saw, which is a pixel. And we've all had the experience where we're online and we're looking for something to buy, maybe a new pair of shoes, or we're checking out some airline deals or something. And before you know it, every website we go to, those same ads are suddenly popping up, almost following you around the internet. And the reason that happens is because of pixels. They are strips of code that are placed onto web pages, and once someone clicks on them, they can be targeted or retargeted as someone who has shown an interest in a particular product or service. So that's how we can perhaps retarget them, send them additional videos, send them to a different landing page where they can download something else that might be more appealing to them. Either way, it's just another way to get back to those same people who clearly have some interest, but for whatever reason didn't download that lead magnet or offer. So let's assume for the time being, though, that they did, and now they've given us something very, very valuable. They've given us an email address. Also within that e-print is the opportunity, hopefully, to schedule an appointment. But even if they don't schedule an appointment, we have the ability, because they gave us an email, to send additional communications out to them, build a relationship, and every time one of those emails goes out, there is always the possibility that they'll circle back and schedule an appointment after the fact. So you have lots of opportunities to get them to schedule an appointment. And that's your funnel. That's how it works. And at the end of that funnel, as I say, you should end up with people who represent your perfect, ideal patient. So what we can do now is throw a few numbers on this and give you some sense of how it might work. You've got your ad, it's seen probably by thousands of people. And while Facebook does charge per impression, we're really only concerned with the number of clicks. So we're coming up with a cost per click. So 1,000 people click your ad, and Facebook is very good at telling you what your cost per click is. But I'm interested in taking it a step further and seeing what your cost per lead is, because in addition to your cost per click, there's the cost of actually running the campaign. Maybe you're paying someone in-house to do that, in which case try and calculate their salary and benefits as a cost. If you're asking a third-party agency to do that for you, get some sense of what they're charging you. Ultimately, what you're trying to do is come up with a meaningful number that gives you a sense of what those leads are actually costing you. And it's an easy number to come up with because Facebook's very, very good about giving you that data. Let's assume for the time being that 200 people download that lead magnet or that offer. That's 20%, which is a little low, to be honest with you. We'd typically expect somewhere between 20 and 50%. So 20 is on the low end of that range, but that's good because we want to be conservative. And of those people within that ebook who click the link and book an appointment, 6 people schedule an appointment. So 3%, again, on the low side, you'd normally expect somewhere between 3 and 5%. But that's right out of the gate. There's also the opportunity for another 3% maybe to book after the fact. So you've got 6 more people because you sent out those emails. You didn't send them out. They were automatically set up to go out over a prescribed sequence. So you've now got 12 people who have booked an appointment. And now might be a good time for us to at least think about what each of those patients is worth to us. And we have this metric called the patient lifetime value. Maybe average patient lifetime value would be more accurate because it's always an average. And it's always an estimate, but you have an idea of what you charge per visit. You also hopefully have some idea of what percentage of people are coming back for future visits. Maybe you have a course of treatment that requires them to come back 6 times. Maybe people have people who are happy with the service may come back a year or so down the road for additional service. There's all kinds of reasons why people might come back in the future and give you additional revenue from that. But the most important thing is to give some kind of number to what you consider a patient to be worth. I don't know that number, you do, but we'll hopefully help you uncover exactly what that number represents. In this case, for the sake of the math and to make it quick and simple, I've come up with a number of $500. So we've got 12 people who have come in at a value of $500 each, which represents $6,000. And therefore, the key metric, EPL, we call it, the earnings per lead, is 6,000 divided by the 1,000 people who clicked on the ad, which gives you $6 per lead as your value, your earnings per lead. We know what our cost per lead was. That was $2.43. So you now know that your profit per lead is $3.57. And that's a critical number because now you know that for every $2.43 you spend, you're going to make a profit of $3.57. That's going to make a big difference to how you look at marketing. And that's why it's such a key metric and such an important concept to understand. Now, what the fun really starts is that every step of this funnel gives you an opportunity to improve that number. We talked about 20% being a relatively low number. What if we were to get 25% of those people to download the ePrint? Maybe we change the offer, turn it into something else that makes it more attractive to download. So now 25%, which is 250 people. And what if we were to say maybe 4% of those people schedule an appointment? We can make it a little more attractive. Book now in order to get an additional discount. There's all kinds of different ways that you can make that more attractive. And then if you look at the nurture sequence, which is currently set up as being 4 emails, well, what if it was a phone call and 4 emails? And how many of those people would then be more inclined to schedule an appointment if they actually had a voice connection with the practice? So there's a number of different ways you can do it, but you can see how easy it is to turn that $6 per lead into maybe $12 per lead or $15 per lead, depending on how many ways you can improve the various stages of the funnel. So that's really how the funnel works. That's how the numbers work. And once you get this concept, it takes a little bit of work to dial it in, but once you get this going on a regular campaign, you have a predictable flow of patients at a predictable cost and a predictable profit per patient. It really is a very liberating metric to get a hold of, and it changes the way people view their practice long term. So hopefully that's something that we can help you set up, and that's what we like to do for our clients. Thanks very much.